morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. As you can see, it's just me today. Michael still has that back pain he had last week, so he's going to get himself better. So, you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Sheila Fawson.
And I'm Greg Fawson. We do the broadcast production.
I'm Barbara Heinzelman. I play guitar and music along with
Salo Stanley that plays percussion.
Yay.
Good to see you guys.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
So, I'm going to just take this moment to recognize the oneness, the allness, the isness, the one power, the one presence that is in, through, and as each one of us, in, through, and as everyone present online now and in the future, present as this service as it unfolds, and present everywhere all of the time. And so I know that the service unfolds in ease and in grace, and everything that needs to be heard is heard, and everything that needs to be said is said, and together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Yeah. So guess what we get to start with? My favoriteest people, Barbara and Salo.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, we are doing so well, and we love the title of today's talk: tapping into higher consciousness. Tapping in.
Yes.
So, in order to tap it in, you gotta fake it. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. And there's a great song about this by Carole King called "Beautiful," because you've got to wake up every morning.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing. I've got nothing to do but watch the passers by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness. Maybe not, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. People gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. That you're beautiful as you feel. That you're beautiful as you feel. You're beautiful, baby.
You are looking good. Did you hear that?
Yay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to do some announcements, and then we get to hear from you again in just a little bit. So I'm looking
All
forward
right.
to it. Yeah.
Excellent.
So, the mission for the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro is to create an open, accepting learning environment that recognizes and embraces diversity, peaceful resolution to conflict in personal and community relationships, and help make the world a better place. Yeah. So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. You can go to contact us and add yourself to the email list. You can request a prayer there, and we'll pray on it all week. And In case you didn't check it out yet, I did put Reverend Michael's blog up last week. So there's a new blog out there. So it's pretty good, if I do say so myself, and I do. So today's, I know, I wouldn't say anything else, but he writes really well. I make him do all my writing. Maybe I can get the bots to do it and then he can fix it, huh? I don't know. So today's title is Tapping into the Eternal, and you've already met our wonderful, wonderful musicians for today. And, we're ready for affirmations.
Affirmations for the week of March 19th, 2023. Written by Stephan Anthony. Please repeat after me. I claim innate wholeness and harmony in every aspect of my life.
I claim innate wholeness and harmony in every aspect of my life.
Divine presence radiates in, through, and from my being always.
Divine presence radiates in, through, and from my being always.
I am grateful for the unique expression of God that I am.
I am grateful for the unique expression of God that I am.
Every day I open myself to abundant good.
Every day I open myself to abundant good.
I am empowered and confident in my oneness with Spirit.
I am empowered and confident in my oneness with Spirit.
Right here and now, I am one with the flow of grace and harmony.
Right here and now, I am one with the flow of grace and harmony.
And together we say,
and so it is.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
How much?
And the reading is from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. As far as your life situation is concerned, there may be things to be attained and acquired. That's the world of form, of gain and loss. Yet on a deeper level, you are already complete. And when you realize that, there is a playful, joyous energy behind what you do. Being free of psychological time, you no longer pursue your goals with grim determination, driven by fear, anger, discontent, or the need to become someone. Nor will you remain inactive through fear or failure, which to the ego is loss of self. When your deeper sense of self is derived from being, when you are free of becoming as a psychological need, neither your happiness nor your sense of self depends on the outcome. And so there is freedom from fear. You don't seek permanency where it cannot be found, in the world of form, of gain and loss, birth and death. You don't demand that situations, conditions, places, or people should make you happy, and then suffer when they don't live up to your expectations. Everything is honored, but nothing matters. Forms are born and die, yet you are aware of the eternal underneath the forms. You know that nothing real can be threatened. When this is your state of being, how can you not succeed? You have already succeeded. And together we say, and so it is.
Awesome reading.
Beautiful.
So we get to welcome back Barb and Salo again. Yay.
Yay. Well, here's one way of tapping into the eternal is by focusing on the power of the present moment.
That's right.
And here is a song that Salo and I wrote that we thought was appropriate for the day called Master of My Moments. And
Awesome.
And here it is. My intention throughout every day. My intention throughout every day. I am the master of my moments. You are the master of your moments. We are the master of our moments. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks in it. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks in it. I am the master of my moments. You are the master of your moments. We are the master of our moments. Kuan Yin is a lotus flower. Mary Magdalene with her tower of power. Buddha with his Bodhi tree. I look, then what do I see? I am the master of my moments. You are the master of your moments. We are the master of our moments. Padme, Padme, oh, come on, Ernest, take it home. Oh, Padme, Padme, oh, come on, Daddy, oh, take it home. Oh, Padme, Padme, oh, come on, Ernest, take it home. Oh, Padme, Padme, oh, come on, Daddy, oh, take it home. I am the master of my moments. You are the master of your moments. We are the master of our moments. I am that. I am that. I am that. I am. I am the master of my moments. You are the master of your moments. We are the master of our moments. My intention throughout every day.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I felt like we should have been jumping around the room. How about you guys?
Totally acceptable.
Yeah.
I know.
Do a little
That was
60s
great.
dance.
Okay, we'll see you in just a little bit.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you. It was awesome. So, today's title is Tapping into the Eternal. And so, the place I kind of wanted to start was, we know that our brain thinks all of the time. And sometimes that thinking is good for us, and sometimes that thinking isn't good for us. And a lot of times we believe what we hear. And I get to thinking about that, and I think, well, I'm doing the hearing and I'm doing the talking, and so who the heck is that? And I was reading, Eckhart Tolle thinks that that's just the brain's function to think. And that, so it's thinking, and we're listening, and we're believing because we're thinking it. And he talks about how the brain can only process what's past. So it dredges up that which is past. And so as we're thinking and doing and being in the present, we have all of those thoughts that go on. And maybe your mind isn't as busy as mine, but every time we get a title and I start doing a talk, it's like I get flooded with whatever it is. And so yesterday it was like, oh my gosh, just shut up. I don't need any of this. And so I'm just inviting us to kind of free ourselves from our mind. And it's like, oh yeah, you go ahead and chatter. I got other things to do. And when we're listening to the mind, then we're like in the body and in the form, and we're not as present with the spirit, as present with the eternal as we are when we're not. So I'm inviting you to listen to what it's saying without taking it as the truth, without judging it. It just goes, it's like if we just understand, okay, that's your thing, that's what you do. He also talks about how the mind likes to do puzzles and things. And I find that that's really helpful for me because that really kind of shuts it up, and you can think about something else. So I'm inviting you to watch it and just be aware that it's not necessarily the truth. It's just the thing that's thinking. It's just the thing it feels like it's talking, but it's not necessarily the truth. So take each thought out and look at it and think about, what am I telling myself? Or what is the brain that's me telling the body that's me, the soul that is me, the person that is me? What do I gain by telling myself that? Especially when it's something old. Like, it wants to dig up some old hurt or some old thing and bring it up again. And then we get to relive it again. But we actually get to choose. We have to choose to say, no, not today. Not going there today. I got better things to do with my day. Because it can bring up, and it brings up joyous occasions too, but I find my brain likes to bring up old things that maybe they weren't resolved exactly like I wanted them to, or maybe for some reason I'm still feeling hurt and pain because of it. It's past, it's gone, it's not me now, and I don't have to listen to it anymore, and I definitely don't have to respond to it. So we started about thinking about what's the cost? What's the cost of listening to that constant chatter? For me, the cost is peace of mind. For me, the cost is being present in the moment. For me, the cost is being aware that I and each one of us is so much more than that chatter in the mind. We are eternal beings. We are brought here to, I think we have kind of an agenda of things we're going to do. We're going to heal some of the past hurts. We're going to get some of the things we didn't get done last time done. And most importantly, I think we're here to recognize the truth of our being. I really think we're here to get that we're more than that. I know you know that old story of, I can't even remember who was talking about it, about where were they going to put the spirit? And they suggested the water or the mountains and the this and the other sage said, no, they'll find it there. No. Oh, we'll just bury it deep inside them. They'll never find it there. And so I think that, that is where it is. It's right inside of us. And I just want to, this is from this thing called You by Ernest Holmes. He says, we're either acting or repelling according to our thoughts. Guard your thoughts. Keep them free of doubt and fear. Accept only the good and equally consciously repel every thought which denies that good. So we can be that aware and that present when the mind is running and it's telling an old story and it's bringing a thing up, to just say, that is not serving me. I am not going there. I am making a different choice. And so be gone with you. Or however it works for you to say it. And so the other thing that's really important about the thinking part of us is the law. This is also from Ernest Holmes, but this is what we teach and this is what we know. The law of mind works automatically upon your thought. And then he says, or else your thought works on it. So let's just think about that a little bit. We're constantly manifesting. We're constantly manifesting what we're thinking. And so every time we allow those negative thoughts to take over, every time we allow what we don't have or what we didn't do or what we should have done to permeate our thoughts, we're also manifesting that. And so I'm just inviting us to really, really be aware of the things that we're thinking and understand we have a choice. We have a choice to access that which serves us and release that which does not. And just moment by moment, just send it back into the nothingness from which it came. Accept that as which is positive. Accept that which sends us forward. Accept that which brings us good. Accept that which brings us joy. Accept that which adds value to the people around us, and let the rest just go back into the nothingness from which it came. He also says, also in this thing called you, Ernest, you are part of the universal mind, one with the universal substance. You live and move and have your being in pure spirit. All the wealth, all the power, and the goodness of this spirit exists at the center of your being. Your experience, you experience this good in such a degree as you accept, believe, and feel it. Since the only life you can have is the life of spirit within you, you need to permit its radiance to flow through your thought into self-expression. You are surrounded by a dynamic force, a great surge of living power. What would we be like if we remembered that every day? What would we be like if every time we start telling ourselves a negative thing or reacting to a thing that's going on outside ourselves, that any kind of negative reaction that we have with it, and Kim reminded me of that just this morning, we're adding to the negative. What would it be like if we just got who we really are and just let our light shine all of the time without worrying about what will this person think or what will happen if that, or what will, just be. Imagine just being. So I read this a long time ago and I was looking at things yesterday, and I just want to read this. This is by Julia Cameron. She says, remembering. Cast off your shame. It is an old coat. Remember who you are. You are a star, a mountain, that fountain in the sun. Your heart is a velvet core where birds, velvet cave where birds sing. Are you remembering? And so I just invite us, as we begin to berate ourselves or think we should have this or we could have that or we something else, remember, we are whole, perfect, and complete in the mind of God all of the time. There's nothing being held against us. There's only good coming toward us, and it reacts to what we put out. So if we're putting out negative thinking, we're going to get the negative results back. And if we put out positive thinking, we're going to get positive results back. And just imagine what our lives would be like if we remembered that every minute of every day. We're here to remember who we are. We're here to recognize that what we are, everyone is, what everything is. And that we get to hold, this sounds like Ernest again, to hold the belief and practice the belief, perfect God, perfect human, perfect being, and contradict everything not like it. So, how are we tapping to the eternal? Well, I'm using Reverend Michael's notes now because he's not here today, as I've already told you, and I got them a few minutes before we started. So they're going to mean to me what they mean, and we're going to share them. He says, I remind myself that my body is not permanent. My oneness with God is. You know, he's really good at that. That was one of the things that attracted me to him in the first place. He really doesn't live on the same level spiritually that the rest of us do. I probably have said this before. When I first met him, he was so ethereal, and I'm so grounded. I'm still really grounded, that I felt like I was holding on so that he wouldn't float away. I seriously felt that. He was so ethereal. And because he was so ethereal, and because he still is so into the eternal, so into who he is and not what the body is and not what's happening around, he sometimes has trouble navigating in the world. Like, he's just on another plane. And I'm so grateful for that, because it makes him such a good minister. It makes him such a good teacher. It makes him such a good practitioner. You know, it enhances all the relationships that he has. And he says, as I continue to grow more into the divinity of my own being, I have a deeper understanding that I'm not bound by time and space. When we first got together, we had a spiritual fair, and all kinds of people that did things came to it. And one of the booths was reading auras. I can't remember what color mine was. It's probably different now anyway. He got his done, and the woman said, "This is the clearest aura I have ever seen." And I'm standing there thinking, I knew that. I knew that just from being around him. And he says the more he realizes that he's not bound by time and space, and we can all take this in, the more freedom he experiences. He lives for his soul desires, which is for his eternal good, for our eternal good. Within the realm of time and space, everything benefits the eternal journey. When we're bound by time and space, we miss the joy of life and the completeness that life has to offer. Because when we're thinking about the things that we need to do, or the things we didn't do, or what we should have done, or what somebody did to us, or what we did to somebody, that makes us heavy. I mean, you can think those thoughts and you can feel the heaviness of it. You can feel that you're sinking into the body and not up in the spirit. And so he says, when one mirror is faced toward each other, what do you see? The eternal self reflecting itself eternally, infinitely. Our soul looks like that. It's nothing you can hold in your hand. It's hard to grasp, even when compared to life. So once we understand that we're eternal beings, that life is not about our body. It's not about someone else's body. It's not about our body of affairs. It's not about our body of money or things. Once our species clearly understand that we're living here for the purpose of learning and expanding into our next reality, and then we live from that purpose, humanity will take a quantum leap in consciousness. He says, in my humble opinion, and I guess mine too, that's the highest purpose in our life. That we are here to recognize that we are powerful, powerful beings. I heard somewhere, read somewhere that souls that are other places really want to have this journey to Earth because they say in one lifetime that they can accomplish more to grow the spirit than they can. I think it was 1,000 years, but I can't really remember. And I don't even, I don't know any of that stuff is true, but it really makes sense that this human body that we have, that the experiences that we have are an opportunity for us to sink into the body of affairs or to look at things in a brighter, lighter space and not take things so seriously, to recognize the truth of our being, to recognize the truth of each person's being. And so, every time we have a thought about somebody else, about they should have this or they should have that or they could have this or they should have that, that's not why we're here. Every time we have a thought like that about ourselves, that we could have this or that or should have this or we got wrinkles or my hair isn't doing what it's supposed to do today or any of those things, none of those things matter. None of those things are important. What's important is we do the work of recognizing why we're here, the truth of our being, that we are manifesting in our lives from that place of being. I think about the Dalai Lama and the things he's been through in his life and the joyous being that he is. And I have the book, but when you hear him talk, it's like he just radiates joy. He doesn't, and I in one of the books, he was talking to somebody who had really been treated badly, probably by the Chinese, and put into jail. And he said, when you dwell on that, you are giving them your power. And so you have the opportunity here to live in a place of joy, to release that experience, to live in that place of joy, to live in that place of understanding the truth of your being, to understand who you are. And I think about that. And I think if he could have the experience that he had and be coaching those who also had experiences like that, to just release them. Because when we hold on to those things, we're not hurting the person who hurt us. We're hurting ourselves. When we live in joy, when we, I think we can feel that around other people. I think that we can feel whether they're in a good place or a bad place or what's going on. I read a story. I think it was in Eckhart Tolle's book, and I can't remember. He wrote another one about the earth, and he was talking about, it might have been somebody else, having a deep, deep, dark discussion with a person, and just allowing that person to shed all of that darkness, and the person had a huge breakthrough, and the darkness just all spilled off. And he said, then he went out to a restaurant to eat, and then there was a person sitting there by himself who just suddenly kind of went berserk and was bothering other patrons and complaining about the food and going on and on and on and on. And they finally escorted him out. And the maitre d' came over to, I think it was Tolley, and said, did you bring all this energy with you? And that's one of the reasons why he left the house, because he didn't, he wouldn't carry it. But how amazing is that as much as he thought he had chucked it off, and as much as it wasn't his, and as much as he just allowed the person to have their epiphany, that we don't know whether that caused what happened to the guy or not. But for the maitre d' to come say, did you bring this with you? I think there's a lot more of that going on than we're aware of. And I think that as we begin to recognize, I've had things where sometimes it's hard for me to be around a crowd. Sometimes it's just, I think it's just that I absorb too much and haven't quite figured out how to send it away. I had a friend tell me one time that you just kind of put yourself in a cocoon and then you just peer out of it. And I was successful with that for a little while. But I think as we learn how impacted we are positively and negatively by another person's consciousness, and we learn to take ourselves out of the situation if that's what we need to do to protect ourselves, or sometimes maybe we can be the one that makes the breakthrough, or maybe that's not ours to do and it's just time to ours to say, what is that? Was it Away We Go? That cartoon? And away we go. So that's what I'm thinking, is that as we begin to realize that we're so much more than we think we are, that we're here for a whole different reason than sometimes we think we are. Because, I know it's like, get a good education, get a good job, make a lot of money, make sure you have a car and a house and a this and a that. And, there's nothing wrong with those things. Those things are really good, and I enjoy those things too. And when we let it be our purpose, when we let our joy come from what our job is or what our car is or who our friends are or the clothes we have, then we're not really feeling joy, because the joy comes from within. The joy comes from recognizing that we're one with that great power and that great, 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 great love that completely fills us. And we send our light out and we still have more and more light, because that is infinite. That joy and that love and that power and that presence is infinite. We have the option, when we're present, when we think about it, when we know what we're doing, we have the option to be that power and that presence, like the Dalai Lama, where we're spreading that good and spreading that joy and spreading that life out into the world, where we know who we are, where we don't get bothered by the transient things that happen in this short life we have. And so an absolute gratitude for knowing that this is the truth of our being. I just want to sink into prayer and recognize that one power, that one presence, that one life, that one divine intelligence that is in, as, and through all things. It is my life. It is the life of each person here. It is the life of every person everywhere. It is the life of everyone who's ever been, and all of those who are coming, and all of those who are on a different plane than we are. It is the one power and the one presence that is everything and everywhere, that manifests all things. And as we align ourselves with that presence, as we recognize that is our life, that is the truth of our being, we can grow in our awareness, we can expand, we can live a life of joy and of peace and of wonder. And so I just invite each one of you to release everything that's no longer serving you, everything that's no longer working for you, everything. And just recognize the power and the presence and the divine eternal being that each one of us is. I just give thanks. I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for this life. I give thanks for this service. I give thanks for our musicians, Barb and Salo and Greg and Sheila, for doing the producing of the service every single week. And I'm thankful for the people that are here today whose names just went away just for a minute. Kim and Susan. And I get thankful for Reverend Michael upstairs, who's still sending me good vibes, even though he isn't here right now. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the good. Thank you for the joy. And so an absolute knowingness that this word is done in the mind of God. I know there's nothing more for me to do. I release it. I let it go. I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen, ashe, amin, aho. And woo-hoo!
Muchas gracias.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we get to have one more song from you, but first, I get to do our conscious gifting, and then we'll be right back.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Wow. That was just so wonderful. I just kind of want to sit and glow in it. But I get to talk. So we just invite you, if you're watching the service now or later, and you're getting anything from the music and from the things that we're saying, just help us continue to do the thing we're doing by making a donation. Doesn't matter what size it is, just make it from your heart, make it with love, make it knowing that there is a law of giving and receiving, and that as we give, we receive. And the more we give, the more we receive. And so pick those places that are really important to you. Pick those places that change your life for the better, that change life on this planet for the better, and support them. And I hope we're one of them. So to do this, the easiest way is to go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, scroll about halfway down the page, and there's PayPal there, and there's a place called Subsplash, and you can give it from a credit card, you can give it right out of your checking account, you can give whatever amount works for you, and thank you for supporting us. And so I just want to take this time now to bless this. So put your hands up in the air and know that you are participating in this blessing. Send them toward this basket. As we recognize that there is only that one power, that one presence, that one life, that is the source of our being. And that on this planet, in this physical form, there are things that we need physically to be able to function. And one of those things is supporting those things that we believe in. And so in absolute gratitude for the support and the love and the funds that we receive so that we can keep doing this. I am so grateful. Grateful to each and every one of you. Grateful to everyone who helps us make this service happen in any way. In absolute gratitude, I just allow this to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
And guess what? We get Barb and Salo back for one more. We might need to dance with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
Really?
we're
Might need to
gonna
get up and dance with this one. I'm serious. We might all want to get up and dance with this one. All right, we're ready.
okay. We are going to literally tap into the eternal. Shallow, show some leg.
I do have social leg.
Those are real tap shoes.
So yay!
So get ready, everybody. You all needed to tap into the eternal here.
Tap into the journal. I'll be sitting down. I don't have time to stand up, but
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. Listen over, crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at your feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street.
Woohoo!
And her happy feet.
And my happy feet.
So cool.
Nice
Just
tapping.
amazing.
Thank you.
Good song.
Make my mother proud.
That was awesome. You guys got anything to share?
Oh, that was just such good stuff. And all the stuff that was swimming around my head, you just kind of drove it home. So thank you, because there is only one mind.
That's right.
And
Right.
it's exactly, your words were exactly what I needed this week.
Yeah, and about what energy you carry in a restaurant with Eckhart Tolle is just so right on and everything. That's for sure.
So, yeah, I think we don't realize that we take that energy with us. I know I recognize other people's, because there are times when I just kind of like need to leave the room.
Right. You know, you get that magnetism, that law of attraction. You know, if you're holding that energy, it's going to be like a magnet attracting it to you and everything. And well, we had an incident.
Well, we'll talk about that
Yeah, we'll
in the
talk
Zoom.
about it.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, lots of things.
You need to join us in Zoom so we can
Yes.
continue this wonderful conversation, because I don't want to miss it, and I don't think you do either. So what's going on with you guys?
Absolutely. So yeah,
Yeah.
join us in Zoom so we can share that story.
Yeah, thoughts are
Right.
things.
Bring Daisy.
Oh, we'll have to get Daisy. We'll
Yeah.
see if she's up from her nap.
Yeah, we tried to get our dog to sit up. She was sitting here for a little while, but she liked the tap dancing. I think she had to get down on the floor and start.
Do a little
Yeah, dogs pick up energy. Every time I tap dance, my other dog Toby would get around and he would dance with me, and Daisy Lolita, if I'm some swing music's on, if I start dancing, she starts dancing with me.
Yeah, great message that really puts things in perspective as far as
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, and some of the things we take so seriously and let just really pull us into negative space, and we just don't have to go there. I mean, the stuff's the stuff, and the things we need to do, but we don't have to live there.
No.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
wonderful.
I'm going to benedict us out. I really want you to join us for Zoom, because we have really wonderful meetings afterwards. And if you miss it, in the link's in the comments, but if you miss it, it's on our website in the calendar, right at the top. So cslnorthmetro.org. So just invite you one more time to close your eyes as we give thanks for this amazingly wonderful day. We send those healing vibes out into the planet, out healing all of the planet on Earth. And we also especially send them to Reverend Michael as he is healing his body temple. And we send him love and light and beingness. And maybe he'll join us on Zoom. And so just in absolute gratitude for everyone that it took to put together this day, for everyone that's here, for everyone that listens to us, for everyone that donates, for everyone whose life has been changed in any little way by this teaching, but especially the classes and all the wonderful things we do. I just give thanks. And so I'm blessing all of us on this planet, blessing the planet, blessing all of the spaces where there's war, blessing all of the spaces where people are having trouble getting enough to eat and where people are ill, and just knowing there's a better way for us to be. and that we have the power to start that and to bring it. And so in absolute gratitude, I say, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Bye bye, everybody.
Okay.